In the new year, we're starting a brand new teaching series that we're calling Authentic Worship. And we've chosen the word authentic because it means literally something that's genuine, something that's true, and something that's real. And we really want that to characterise our worship here at Hazelmere Church. So when we gather together to worship God, to set him above everything else, we want that to be something that really is authentic, that's genuine, that's real, and that's true. And we're going to unpack that throughout 6 weeks of the series. In our church recently, there's been a number of words and prophecies about the whole aspect of worship. And it seems that God is raising the standard for us in our worship. There's words of actually handing the baton on to others that will come after us, about how worship's going to be the fuel for mission, for ministry, and for reaching out into the kingdom around us. And this, I believe, is not just seen in our church, actually across our nation at the moment. There's a desire that when we worship God, it's a genuine encounter of meeting him so that we're changed and fired up for the mission that God has for us in the world. When you read through the whole of the Bible, there's a lot about God, what God says about the kinds of worship that God wants. He talks a lot about how we're to have a heart of worship, what that's going to look like, the fruits and the shape of worship that's authentic. But in the Bible also, God also describes worship that he doesn't like, worship that's not honouring to him, worship that he literally says, get away with, do away with that kind of worship. And we're going to cover both aspects in this teaching series. We're going to spend a lot of time looking at what our heart is for worship, the shapes of worship, the fruits of worship. But we're also going to tackle the hard question that I think is prevalent in today's worship, is that and consumerism, how that fits in, and whether we're guilty of giving God worship that actually he'd say, that's not the worship that I want. It's going to be encouraging, but it's also going to be a challenge for us as a church here. In order to get the most out of this teaching series, we're encouraging people to get hold of this book, which is Incomparable by Andrew Wilson. And this is a book really exploring the nature and the character of God by looking at God's names. Each session, each name has got a bite-sized portion. It's good theology, but it'll also inspire us to have a heart for worship. So I'd encourage you to get hold of this book and read it over the next term as we prepare and do this series on authentic worship. Well, thanks for watching this short video, and I hope you're beginning to get excited and enthusiastic about looking at this area of authentic worship with us next term at Hazelmere Church.